Hey guys, this is Sean from SeanOther.com, and in this video we are going to perform a benchmarking test comparison between Ascend Mate 7 and Huawei P8. Both of these two devices are by Huawei and both of them are flagship devices, so we are going to have a comparison between these two devices that which device is better than the other with respect to benchmarking scores. Let me tell you that the Huawei Ascend Mate 7 we got here is the 3GB RAM version, because there are two versions available in the market. One is having 2GB of RAM, another one is having 3GB of RAM. The one we got here is 3GB RAM, and also our P8 is having 3GB of RAM, and both of them are having octa-core He-Silicon processor, which is the Huawei's indigenous processor. So the benchmarking application which we are going to use here today there are four benchmarking applications, which are Basemark Os 2, Untitled benchmarking, Quadrant standard, and Geekbench 3. So we have already performed the Untitled benchmarking and Basemark Os 2 because these are two time-consuming benchmarking tests. So just to save your time, we have already performed it, and we will just have a look on the scores that which device is getting more scores. So let's start with the Untitled benchmarking here. So you can see the scores of both of these two devices, that Ascend Mate 7 is having 42,950 and our Huawei P8 scored 45,707. So you can see that Huawei P8 is scoring above the Ascend Mate 7. The difference is not much, but since P8 is having more optimized version of Android, that's the latest Android 5.0 Lollipop, so it's scoring a bit above than the Mate 7, because both of these two devices are pretty much same in terms of hardware specs. Both of them are having octa-core processor. One is having 2 GHz, another one is having 1.8 GHz or something. So the difference is pretty less. If you go to the info section, you can see that they're having the pretty much same configuration. Even the GPU is same in both of these two devices, that's Mali T624. The only difference you can see here is in the version of Android, and everything else, even the camera, is pretty much similar. So, and if we go to the ranking, so we can see that our P8 is scoring right above the OnePlus One and exactly below the Asus Zenfone 2. But if we are going to the Mate 7, our Mate 7 is scoring below HTC One M8, so it's going 2 steps behind than the Huawei P8 here. So this is our entity benchmarking test. Let's go and have a look on our Basemark OS test here. Let's have a look on the results because the test is already finished. And here you can see the score. So the overall score for Mate 7 is 906. For our P8 it's 1153. For the system test, Mate 7 is scoring above, higher than the P8 here. It's 2143, here it's 2015. For memory, Ascend Mate 7 is having very poor score with respect to P8. You can see P8 is having 1324 while our Mate 7 is having just 508. For the graphics, both of them are having pretty much similar score, because as I said, both of them are having the exact same GPU. And also for the web browsing, the difference is not much, though Mate 7 is scoring a bit above the Huawei P8, but overall P8 is having better score than the Mate 7. You can see here overall 1153 and here it's 906 only. So let's go back and let's do the quadrant standard, and let's perform the test right here in front of you. Here we go. You can see that this test is going to compare the CPU, memory, 2D graphics and 3D graphics rendering. So let's see which device is going to get how much score and which device is better than the other one. you can see that P8 is slightly faster than the Mate 7 here in this test, and the test is finished for both of them. Let's have a look on the score. For our Mate 7, the score is 11,736, and for our P8, the score is 14,214. So once again, P8 is scoring way above the Mate 7 in this quadrant standard test as well. And let's perform our last test for today. That's going to be Geekbench 3. You can see a bit information about the both of these two devices, that Mate 7 is having Android 4.4.2, which is a bit older version of Android now. P8 is having Android 5.0. The RAM is pretty much similar in both of these two devices, that's 3 GB of RAM. Here in this Mate 7, the processor used is Cree 925. Here also it's the very same processor. The only difference is in terms of the clocking speed. It's 1.52 GHz, here it's 1.31 as it's showing on the Geekbench tree. So let's run the benchmark test and let's see which device is going to get how much score. So the test is finished for Mate 7 and it's finished for our P8 as well, and you can see the scores that for the single core testing, Mate 7 scored 891 and P8 scored 900. It's pretty much similar for both of these two devices. And for the multi-core performance, Mate 7 is having 3218 and P8 is having 3464. So once again, the difference is not much for the Geekbench 3. If we go here, we can compare the performance with the rest of the devices. Here you can see for the Mate 7 our score is 891, which is right below the Galaxy Note 10.1, and if we have a look on our P8, it's exactly below the Galaxy Note 10.1 and similar to Amazon Kindle Fire HDX7. So both of them are having same score. If you go to the multi-core, you can see that Mate 7 is having score above the Galaxy S5 here, and here also in this list P8 is scoring above the Galaxy S5. So you can see that in every single test P8 is scoring above the Mate 7. The basic difference between these two devices is P8 is having more optimized and latest version of Android, and P8 is having slightly better hardware. So this is the basic difference between these two devices. So thanks for watching the video, friends, and do not forget to subscribe the channel for more videos, tips and tricks and hands-on reviews like this. Have a nice day.